Uh, we are Hosu Gelo Bagan, the Hosu or king of the only maroon monarchy in the world, unfortunately, which is called Ganlodo. We can be reached at ganlodokingdom.com, Ganlodo, kingdom.com. Also, our publications are at restorationhealing.com. The name of that site is Quilombo Restoration and Healing. This is actually a brief part two of on our email is EKAABOKILOMBO at gmail.com. Only serious inquiries, nothing from naysayers will be entertained. So just in case you didn't see the part one and you're seeing this part two, we were talking about in the original 24-minute video how in 1992 we were falsely accused of a rape charge of a 8 or 9-year-old girl who was actually our cousin. You'll see in the video, first part of the video, we talk about how that came about, how she falsely accused me, how there was no DNA testing, DNA evidence, wouldn't have been no DNA evidence, but they didn't even do any testing. The fact that her father molested her, he went on to molest other statutory rape with other girls and whatnot, and went to prison for it. We're still fighting this case. What we want to do in this quick video is we want to talk about how people have been using this false information to try to thwart our movement, which is the Quilombo paradigm as New Africans. There was this young thug guy, call himself Mr. RBG, all this here, that made a video a few years ago that got out to a few people on Facebook. And it's, once again, as we speak about in the previous video, people just automatically believe stuff. They don't even come and confront you. Some of those people even had a chance to. They were on our friends list. Some even might have had a phone number when we were being a little too benevolent and giving out a phone number at that time. But none of that happened. So that shows you that, the RBG people, they talk the most rah-rah, the most violent talk, talking about what they're going to do to a cracker and all that and what they'll do. And when you check their record, most of what they do is to other Africans, So this guy called himself AWAX, A-Y-E Wax. Bunch of gold teeth in his mouth, claimed to be conscious, as they say. Made a video, and he made a video holding a shotgun in his hand. So we called him and confronted him. He wasn't talking like that on the phone. He tried to cover himself because he knew it was distance between us. So then he had to recoup and start talking crazy, But the point is that he got the information from a guy named Kwesi Akan, the one around here talking about Afu Raka, Afu Rakan. Afu Raka is the original name for Africa. That's where it really comes from. Sad that so many people believe that. But you get what you deserve. He calls himself a Driwafo. In the Akan language, that means one who carries out a Driwa. A Driwa is a ceremony. He knows no Akan ceremonies, except for what he studied from Ellis and other books that he studied. Akan elders will not deal with him because he makes up stuff. He says you don't even need to be initiated and all that. He got this. So the AWAX thug got the information from Kwesi Akan. Here's the thing. Kwesi Akan and I used to be good friends. Once another blind moment in my life. One day out of the blue, this guy, he did some other dirty stuff, but he started posting about me going to prison for falsely being accused. He didn't say falsely in prison for something I didn't do. I said he didn't say that was then. That was at that point. How about before that? On the New African Vodun website, we had a page describing our experience with the justice system, very similar to this video. We did not have a page before we met Kwesi Ra Akan, Odriwafo, Odriwafo.com. I think that's spelled ODWIRAFO.com. So this is only so y'all can, know who I'm talking about. You may have been dealing with this guy, didn't know he was a snake. We did not have a page publicly talking about what happened. And on the page, we explained how we was falsely accused by our own kinfolks, how she was covering for her father who actually had raped her. This is what we're talking about in this video also, especially in the part 1. It was Kwesi Akhan idea. He came to me and said, Baba, you need to put a page up declaring your innocence, put it all out there so people can already know. It was his idea that we put it out there, which we thought was a good idea for some reason, because, dealing with this for so long, for 20-something years now, you get fed up. You kind of feel like you don't owe nobody no explanation. Like, whatever, if they're going to believe, they're going to believe whatever. If they're real, because we was on this, we still like this. If you real and you wondering about this situation, you're going to A, ask us about it directly, or B, go to an oracle and ask. Ironically, everybody that has went to an oracle that I have talked to, some didn't even want to go. We forced them to go to their oracle, not a reading we were doing. Some people in the contradictions, we can't do a readings. Some in Palo, they went to their oracles and all the oracles told them this man is innocent of that and some more, of rape and some more. Nobody that has ever accused us ever went to an oracle. Not one. But strangely, Kwesi Akhan, who got all this started so far as the internet goes, with his next phase of it, where the little thug guy, AWACS, by the way, is doing, I think, life in prison. That's, that's what the RBG community is now, is a bunch of thugs, So he got what he deserved, probably getting more of what he deserved while he's in prison right now. It was Kwesi Akhan's idea. This is what this whole part 2 is about. And we put it up. It was a good idea. It's not that we never really thought about it, but we just kind of got tired of having to explain, And it was up for a while. And then me and the Queen, we was like, you know what? This is a distraction. If people want to know, they'll know. This is a page that don't even need to be on the site. So we took that page off. That was newafricanvoodooing.com. When you type in newafricanvoodooing.com now, African spelled with a K, it leads you to Restoration Healing, where our videos and publications are. Know that if you run across Kwesi Akhan, the guy, on a lot of his videos, he has little tight shirts on, and we've kind of been wondering what that's about. Like, why the tight shirts? I usually spell gay, this sexual in my world, in the world where I grew up, But hey, what people say, well, they do what they want to do. Well, he claims to speak against this sexuality, but he wears real tight shirts. Whatever he may be, if he is not that, he is definitely a coward and a liar. If you ever run into him, and this situation comes up about Ahosu Agelo Bagan, formerly known as Baba Awotunde, we've seen somebody say we have a bunch of aliases. No, when you become a king, your name changes. You get what is called an Nicole Sheshet, which is a strong name. Forgot what they call it in Tamaray, but each king would have a strong name, right? They have one name. They have several names. We have a book out now, African Vodou names, and we talk about the various names in Aja culture you have. So evidently these clowns who are talking about we got all these aliases, and they're saying it from a perspective of how the police said, somebody trying to hide. No, you are a number in this country. You can't change your social security number. How about that? So any name you see we have our birth name, which was a European name. We have a nickname. That's some kind of way that got out there, I guess through police records where they arrested us and falsely imprisoned us. We have the name, we legally changed our to an African name. How many of you RBG people got real African names? You Rahotep all at the rallies and the speeches and whatnot, your name is Willie, Catherine, Susan, Harris. I seen one woman named C-Shet Harris. Why they do that at? So we've been diplomatic over the years and not really talked about it, not have really mentioned that tight shirt wearing guy, Kwesi Khan. Called himself Kwesi Rodnahim Patah Khan. What a name. Takes on the last name. His last name is the name of an ethnic group. This is what people want, though. They want that fake culture. We've been diplomatic and enough is enough. This is what these two videos about. Enough is enough. So we gave you our contact information. If you have any legal advice, the case is in Alabama. We've run into lawyers. They couldn't help us because they could help us, but then bam, they couldn't because they were not in Alabama, not licensed in Alabama. And that's before we go. We forgot to mention this on part one. A lot of our legal issues have come from the fact that a lot of Alabama lawyers don't want to mess with it because they know that a lawsuit is going to come, right? But before that can happen, probably, they will get railroaded. They won't be getting clients. One lawyer straight up told us that some years ago. He said, look, I'm going to tell you something that a lot of these lawyers are not going to tell you. And this is Oyimbo. He said, people in Alabama you're going to need somebody licensed in Alabama, but not based in Alabama. And that's been one of the hardest things. Think about that. Think about that. Take this type of thing next time you automatically want to support somebody that's, you want to free somebody that's accused of shooting the police and they saying they didn't. But then you find out you beat somebody that know him, that's from his neighborhood, that was there the day he shot the police. And he came and bragged on randomly shooting the police. Now, a lot of you RBG people going to say, yeah, it's good to randomly shoot the police. But what if that was your kin person? That's only out there doing a job, not harassing African men. He's out there doing a job. We're talking about a black police. You'll be, what if this was you in this case? In my case, you're in my shoes. But you want to run around here and go with what these crackers have railroaded me with. That's funny because you're always talking about justice for black people. Stop it. You don't know what the word justice means. You definitely don't know it in the African terminology or an African frame of work. Stop talking about justice when you automatically believe crazy stuff about people. You never go to an oracle. You RBG people are not going to go to an oracle because you're not spiritual. You're not cultural. You're not spiritual. You might throw on a dashiki. You might have the tightest dashiki on at the Black Awareness rally, but you ain't got no spirit. So it wouldn't matter if I show you paperwork when this thing does get off of me that, hey, he's innocent, he's free, case overturned, suing the state of Alabama. You're still going to believe it because you're evil, you're vile. All you got is the RBG. You've never been a leader in your life, most of y'all. Kwesi Khan has never been a leader in my life. I have a background of leadership, before this, before kingship, before priesthood, even in the Christian church. So even in the fraternity, Masonic lodge, I had leadership. This is not nothing new for me. And my real friends, shout out to my people in Mobile who never believed this foolishness and always was on my side to get this cleared off me. We're still fighting it. If you're watching this, we're still fighting this. So there you have it. Kwesi Khan, Kwesi Rodnahim Patah Khan, Jeffrey, Robert, Darrell, Mount Zion Catholic Church, Baptist, Ebenezer number 2. That's what his name sounds like, the name of one of these Baptist churches. He's a liar and a coward. And it was him, we were friends. He knew that of what I had been convicted of and the circumstances because I told him directly. He even mentioned to me he got into it with his wife about it because his wife was one of those just want to believe that. And then it's sad that women, I guess they've been through so much. A lot of, come to find out through this case, a lot of more women have been molested and raped by their family members than what I first imagined or thought. I didn't know it was that widespread amongst black people. you know. And so in fighting this case and talking to lawyers and whatnot and telling me about experiences and whatnot, I just didn't know. So, on one end, I understand that a lot of women, they automatically, because, their mothers, they respond, automatically. Oh, no. It's not fair, though. We want to tell you that. If you are in the culture and you are a woman, and if you have that concern, even if you've been molested as a child, if you hear something about that, like they've done with me, about somebody, go to the oracle. That's if you're in the culture. RBG people, it's not really much hope for y'all, because you're not going to go to any oracle. So all we could do for you is say, use your discernment. We've never admitted to this because we're not guilty. We're innocent. Malachi York admitted his own video, but he has hundreds, thousands of followers. Interesting. No DNA testing for us. DNA testing in Malachi York's. And we're not trying to, to hell with York. We're just using a popular example and comparison. So this is what's going on. And that is our issue, So women, men too, go to the oracle if you got an issue. Me, myself, my intuition is so strong. My mother is Oya. Most of the time, I don't even have to go to an oracle to figure out any foolishness or any goodness, Figure it out right in the first 5 minutes. But for those that are teetering, because this is a serious situation. This is a serious issue to somebody accused of rape. So go to the oracle. Even if you're not in the culture, we're going to go this far. If you're not in the culture, the priests are called Babalawos and Ianifa in the Yoruba tradition. You might know Yoruba before you know Isheshe. In the Akan tradition, they're called a Kamfo. In Vodun, they're called Hunan and Bokonon. If you see anybody with that name, even though you don't practice our culture, but you got questions about something this serious, you got questions about, should you support a cause, somebody going to jail, they say they didn't do this and that, but you put your money in that cause, go check the oracle to see how innocent or guilty that person really is. You may find out a lot of causes that you've been supporting, you shouldn't have been supporting. So even if you're not in the culture, and this is for both people in the culture and not in the culture, check the oracle. There are people that are Christians, they have come to us, Muslims that have come to us. They know the power of the oracle. They know the oracle can tell them something that Allah and Jesus can't tell them. So this is nothing new, we telling you. But we mainly wanted you to know that Kwesi Ra, Nahim, Patah, Khan, Jeffrey, Robert, John, Darrell, whatever his name is a tight shirt wearing coward and liar. And that he started a lot of this stuff. He started the stuff that guy AWACS started. Now AWACS is where the deity, what Shango told me he would be. When he did what he did, he was taken to the oracle, just like Kwesi Khan. See, Kwesi Khan put on the front on these videos, but his life is in shambles behind the doors. Wife ran away from him. Since we've been trying to be diplomatic too long. So let's tell the real truth. Why did Kwesi Khan's wife run from him? He took the child and jetted back to DC where she was from. Since he's so strong in culture and this and that, and tells so much truth, put out so much information, which is 95% made up. The Khan people were like, what is that? That's not a Khan culture. If you're so strong, why all of a sudden your wife just up and left? You don't have a record on you like me. You're a good boy. You have never been falsely accused, falsely imprisoned, or in prison at all. How is it that your wife left you and jetted to Chicago, jetted to Washington, D.C., and then you had to go into D.C. and find her? You had to track her down. You had to stalk her to the point you moved to D.C. Are you telling people this on your videos? Seems like a lot of information is being left out. You're not telling people we were friends. You're not telling people that, you knew about my case. You're not telling people that you had to run and track down your ex-wife just so you could see your child. Why did she run away from you? Was it the halitosis that you have? She was with you long enough to kind of probably get used to that. Was it abuse? Or was it that she knew you was making up stuff? Because, we met her and she seemed to not really be down with what you were talking about. She just was playing along. Obviously. So, there you have it. We are His Imperial Majesty Ahosu Agelo Bagan of Kanlodo Monarchy. Our publications are at restorationhealing.com. That website is named Quilombo Restoration and Healing. So, anybody that has any kind of advice on how to deal with this case, please contact us. All other people, you're going to believe what you're going to believe anyway. We say to you, Oni Jimakplo. And in Yoruba, that's not a good term. Odigba.